Good evening and welcome to the Miners Den Show. Had a couple of weeks off, guys. We're just putting the finishing touches on to another fantastic episode. G'day, Vince. How you going? No Show Nugget, welcome. Coffee Bush Kid, good to see you there again. Hello, Cal. Hi, Brian. The show will go ahead tonight, absolutely. Just polishing up the last little bits. Hello, Beck. Howdy, MD Melbourne. Just a quick chat tonight because we are just about to get underway, so I will go silent now again. Welcome all to episode 216 of the Miners Den Show. Catch you soon, guys. Welcome to the Miners Den Show, Australia's most informative prospecting live stream. This is the place for the latest tips, tricks, videos and entertainment for the gold prospecting or treasure hunting enthusiast. In tonight's episode, we'll show you how to update the Algo Force E1500 Plus metal detector with the latest software. We'll continue testing the Nocta Legend in the goldfields. Jamie introduces the age of deep quartz mining in gold rushes of Australia, and I'll give away some fantastic kit to help you in the great outdoors. I'm Gold Digger Dave. Let's dive in to another great show. Let's get digging.
There's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. That signal's so sweet when I hear that beep beep. Couldn't think of many things better. I heard some old tin that nearly got me in, and that piece of lead really had me sweating. But there's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. All those little rusty nails I've dug to no avail, although the signal didn't sound good. But there's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector.
It's great to be back after a couple of weeks break due to scheduling clashes. During the break, Miners Den Melbourne store held the first demo day showcasing the Algo Force and Nocta range of gold prospecting and coin and treasure metal detectors. A great group of people attended and several were clever enough to get themselves a fantastic deal on the Nocta and Algo Force machines. If you missed this one, then keep your eyes on our socials for the next demo days coming up in our Melbourne and Bendigo metal detector superstores. Algo Force have just released a new update for the E1500 and E1500 Plus PI gold prospecting metal detectors. Algo Force are continuing to offer free software upgrades to their units to save you having to purchase new hardware every time they learn something new. Keep watching to see just how easy it is to update the Algo Force units a little later in the show. Now, the gold price is continuing to hold above the $5,000 US, $5,000 Australian per ounce, and is still being bolstered a little by the instability that is around the globe. The price continues to hover around its record highs, and looking at the gold price, we can see that it's currently trading at around about the $5,152 per troy ounce. That's a bit of a drop off from what we've seen over the past month or so. It's probably $200 to $300 Australian lower per ounce, but here at Miners Den, we'll continue to keep you updated on the precious metal as it continues to outperform most other metals when it comes to its rise in price. Let's take a look now at this week's Lucky Viewer giveaway. The Lucky Viewer giveaway is 3 of our merch packs that are up for grab. We found these whilst we were cleaning out the prize cupboard during our recent stock take. These have a variety of bits and bobs that are sure to complement your prospecting adventures throughout the country. As you know, it's simple. A simple comment in the feed will on either YouTube or Facebook live streams puts you in the running to win one of our fantastic giveaways. I have 3 to give away this evening. Good luck, happy prospecting and treasure hunting. In our first video for the evening, the Coffee Bush Kid and I have continued to test the Nocta Legend on the goldfields. Let's have a look at that clip now. I'm Gold Digger Dave.
And I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
We're out here in the whipstick still with the Nocta Legend metal detector.
With the 6-inch coil in the gold mode. And Dave, I've got me another signal.
Let's take this one out.
Now, this is a special one. I can tell you right now it is not gold. Because, there we go, that's the sound I wanted. What I wanted to show, as we're swinging over, we can see the ferrous side all lit up. And that's a beautiful thing, that, because
it's giving us a good indication, really, isn't it?
yeah, because just down here, I know I had it somewhere. I tell you what, how about I get the acupoint out?
Yep.
And at that, we can hear that going off, Dave.
Yep, we can.
That's just a piece. Oh, there
And
it
it's
is.
giving, that's it. And you can hear that broken sound on it.
That's exactly right. But also, we could hear and see on the legend that it went over to that
Absolute
ferrous side. So, we've got small lead shot.
Yes.
We've got tin.
Yep.
And we've been able to, a non-ferrous target and a ferrous target. So, in amongst all this area where there is a bit of steel in that, that's a good thing to have on a detector in gold mode.
Absolutely, and we can knock that out, and as we learn more about it, we'll get more confident with leaving those kind of things behind.
Yep.
And
moving on to the better ones.
Absolutely.
Let's do that now. Alrighty, Dave, here's the second one, and I know it's very shallow by the way that I have to swing. Still, it's a bit clippy. It's just there, and it's only giving me just
Rightio. Well,
a response.
If that's the case,
Yep.
let me just take a little tiny bit off the top here.
And I reckon that's about it, Dave. Yep, I think that's it already.
Oh,
Maybe not. No, we're still in. But it is.
very hard to get a signal, so it's got to be very small, and,
Yep.
and it's shallow. So
I actually reckon, Dave, if I did that,
you might get it.
I think I might get it. I'm pretty confident it's only shallow. Actually, I'm getting closer to it. Oh, onto some nice little gravelly stuff.
Just try over your pile there, Mr. Copybush. No, I'll scrape a little bit more out.
Yep.
Let me just flatten this out this way so I've got somewhere to put it.
Yep. Doesn't need to be too much. Think you've got it, Dave?
I think we have.
There we are, right in there. Now you see, there was a lot of, probably an inch's worth of discard, but it was enough to bury the signal. All right. Yeah, I reckon you've got it. No. Yep.
That sounds like I've got it.
That's it. Rightio. I reckon I heard it.
I did too.
There we go. All right, let's do it again. Gee, it must be small, Dave.
Must be
But
tiny.
That's a testimony to the machine, though.
Absolutely it is.
As we've said, there's already been heaps of detectors over this. You got it?
I've got it again there.
How big is it, Dave?
Again. I reckon if you hit a bird with that bit of shot, it would probably bounce off its feathers. It is tiny.
Yeah, but still, that's a really good go. Now, you heard that when we just went over it, I did have broken tonage,
Yes.
but it was enough to pull me up and just go, oh, I reckon. I was getting numbers.
Yep.
So it's pretty much like if you were still running a gold machine. There's no visuals for it.
Yep.
It's just that noise that you hear the audio. And we've pulled another lead shot out of 3 parts of bugger all depth.
Yep.
But we've still done it in an area that's seen multiple detectors. That's pretty bloody amazing for the legend, I reckon.
Absolutely it is. And with that, Mr. Coffee Bush.
Yes, I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
And I'm Gold Digger Dave, and you're watching The Miner's Den Show. Well, that was great weather to be out there with Mr. Coffee Bush, still learning lots and lots about the new Nocta range of machines. Be sure to be getting back out now that the ground's got a little bit softer. Slight bits of drizzle around over the last week or two around Bendigo, so it should hopefully soften the ground a little bit. I did get a question coming through from Johnny here, who's asking, are some of our digging tools illegal to sell now that some have a blade over 200 millimetres long here in Victoria? Look, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about banning digging tools and things like that. The bans that have come in Victoria are on the machetes. Machetes are a completely different type of implement. They're not used for digging or anything like that, so I don't think they'll have any effect on us at all, Johnny. You were right, Matty. I saw a comment there about them having logos on some of the giveaways tonight. They do have, unfortunately, the wrong logo on the giveaways, but rather than just have to turf them, we'll give them away, and I'm sure someone will get some protection and some enjoyment out of what happens to be in those bags there. So let's move right along to this week's amazing discoveries, and it takes us to Norway, where a routine cleanup turned into a glimpse back in time. In the basement of an old family home, 32 rusted iron bars were found. Left untouched for decades, they didn't look like much, but once taken to a local museum, archaeologists were stunned. These weren't just chunks of old metal, they were ancient currency. Each bar about half a kilo, with a small hole suggesting that they were once tied together. Experts believe they date back to the Iron Age and Middle Ages, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,500 years ago. And when iron was valuable, it was so valuable it was traded like cash. Used by the Viking merchants and warriors, these bars were part of everyday transactions before coins were the norm. It's the kind of find that hasn't been seen in over 100 years in Norway, and it's teaching us more about how early societies valued and used raw materials. Just goes to show sometimes history hides in places where we least expect it. Let's see what's happening with the Miner's Den competitions now. So it's into competition time. We're going to start by congratulating once again Laurie W, who won the Nocta Legend as part of our recent Live the Dream competition, with thanks to Nocta. The team at Miner's Den hope you are happy finding treasure in all terrain with this fantastic all-round metal detector. You have a couple of days left to get your entries into our Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt photo competition, where you could win a $50 Miner's Den voucher for sharing a photo of your finds with us. Here's an entry from Fabio, who grabbed himself a 4-pack of Gold Digger Dave's Gourmet Pay Dirt and found a stash of colour. Next up, we're having a look at an entry from Troy, who scored 1.1, 0.64 and 0.75 grams of gold from his purchases of Gourmet Pay Dirt. Best of luck for this month's competition, guys. Next up, Techie Tom and the Coffee Bush Kid run us through how easy it is to update the Algo Force E1500 and E1500 Plus metal detectors. Let's check out that video now.
G'day folks, I'm Techie Tom from the Miner's Den Show, and today we're going to show you how easy it is to update your Algo Force E1500.
I brought my computer in that I got when I was 21. Have you got the floppy disk for the uploady bit?
Well, unfortunately we are going to need something that was made in this century to, look, I'm sorry, but it's just probably not going to cut it, Coffee Bush. So we'll use our laptop and we'll show you how to get it done. Alright folks, to update our Algo Force E1500 and E1500 Plus, the first thing we do is go to algoforce.com.au. From there, it's pretty straightforward. We get to the Downloads tab right in the middle of the banner. We scroll on down till we get to these things. So we've got to download the PC tool, which is this one here. Click that one. If you have an older version of Windows, Windows 7 or Windows 8, you can download those as well. So now our downloader is installed. The next thing we have to do while we're on this page is download the latest binary file, version 2.0, which is the latest one here.
Is that what helps run it, is it?
The firmware is the actual brains. The software tool is the one that injects it into the machine.
Awesome.
So now we've got both of those. We can go to our downloads folder. And we can open up the AlgoForce download tool. From here, we plug in the AlgoForce using the USB cable that you use to plug into the battery. Straight in the side of the machine.
You got it the right way in one.
I checked it before we started. So, we turn our AlgoForce on. If it doesn't, it may already turn itself on when you're plugging him in, but if it doesn't, just switch him on. And as you can see, AlgoForce has popped up there in COM3. From here, we go Browse. Click the software file that we just downloaded, which is stored in your Downloads folder. Open that up. Click Update. Wait for the bar to finish going all the way through. Only takes a couple of seconds with these guys. There you go, Bob's your father's brother. She's all done. All right, so lastly, we unplug it, and there you are. That's how easy it is to update your AlgoForce E1500 and E1500 Plus. Now, Coffee Bush, there is a Mac tool coming, but unfortunately, it still won't be using floppy disks. No, I'm sorry. I'm Techie Tom.
And I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
You've been watching
The Miner's Den Show.
Well, there's a lot of frequency comes through with the updates as the AlgoForce team learn more about different things on with their machines out in the field from users and things like that. So we look forward to more updates. You can see how easy it is to update your machine. If you haven't done that before, jump on. It's very easy. Watch the video and you can have the latest software free of charge from the people at AlgoForce. Now, did get one question in the break there. Kim's asking if I've been to Tibooburra, New South Wales. If so, any tips for detecting out there? I'm heading out there in 3 weeks' time. Yeah, look, have been up there before, Kim. There's a few areas that you can go. You can go onto the Common Ground. You can go onto Mount Stewart. You can also go on to Gumvale Station from memory. If you drop into the service station, they'll be able to give you some idea on where you pay your fees and things like that. So you can pay a camping fee if you want to camp out on site, or you can camp in the campground close to Tibooburra, and you'll be able to pay a detecting fee, and they look after all that for you. The other thing to possibly do is to grab yourself one of Doug Stone's Tibooburra maps. We have them online at minersden.com.au. That'll give you a bit of a rundown on where the old workings things are close to Tibooburra as well. If you've got a range of coils for whichever machine you're using, make sure you take a small coil with you. The small coils are super sensitive to that smaller gold, and hence you'll find that there's a lot more smaller stuff up around Tibooburra than the really big stuff. So that's usually how I find you'll get a good result. So good luck with your trip up there, Kim, and hope you get some gold. We'd love to hear when you get back. Okay, now we're on to Dave's deals, and our offers this week are going to give some extra bonuses items when you purchase any of the Nocta range of premium metal detectors. For a limited time, we're going to include a free sand scoop, and if you're purchasing any of the following Nocta detectors, as in the Simplex, the Ultra, or Findex, then you will also score a bonus Dragon Digger. The Miner's Den bonus gear completes the kit, and you'll be ready for any adventure. If you're going for the mighty AlgoForce, then the Miner's Den Australia will also include a small Walco pick, a control box cover, and clip-on angle pick holder. That's a saving of around about $205, but please be quick. This offer will end at the end of the month. Get into Miner's Den quick smart to grab yourself a bargain. You'll get expert advice, excellent service, and of course the best deals for all your metal detecting needs. Next up, we're going to come to that time where we ask Dave, that's me, your questions that were submitted during the week. Now look, I've just had the one question tonight that came through from Chris, who asks, How does the algo force and Nocta Legend compare when looking for gold? Okay, well, hi Chris, thanks for a great question. The two machines differ in their uses a little bit and both have great ability on gold, with the Nocta Legend also suited for hunting coins, relics and treasure. Let's take a look at the Algo Force E1500 Plus, and look, this machine now has become the go-to unit for fantastic value mid-range gold prospecting machine. It's as good as $2,000 cheaper than the nearest competitor, and the mid-range tech in the machine is, well, it's 8 to 10 years newer than what else is currently available in the mid-range machines. It's super sharp on small to medium-sized nuggets with good depth on the larger stuff. If you're looking for a great mid-range gold prospecting machine, then this is the new leader in that space. Now, when it comes to the Nocta Legend, we find that it's the value-packed all-rounder in the metal detector market, with features and inclusions that are on the higher-priced units at a fraction of their cost. If you're wanting to hunt a variety of areas for both gold, coins and relics, then this is the unit to hunt with. It has 4 modes. It's gold, park, beach and field, and it comes with standard with everything you need to get out and start hunting. It will not be quite as sharp as the Algo Force on the gold, but it has the advantage of being suitable for all types of detecting. Look, thanks for the question, Chris, and give the Miners Den team a call if you'd like more info. In the last video for our evening, Jamie gives us the rundown on the shift to quartz mining on the goldfields. Let's check that one out now.
G'day, I'm Jamie, back with another episode of Gold Rushes of Australia. In the last episode, I talked to you about the move to deep lead mining, going deeper to tap into ancient underground rivers containing gold-bearing gravel. In places like Ballarat, it transformed the goldfield and the town itself as more and more companies were formed and more permanent houses and buildings were erected to support the growing population. I mentioned the introduction of share trading to major centres like Melbourne, Bendigo and Ballarat, bringing with it a new kind of treasure hunter, those that made their fortunes without lifting a shovel. Of course, there were plenty more who lost their fortune betting on the next big thing which someone claimed to have, coming along pretty much every day. Let's talk a little bit now about the introduction of quartz mining, which, like deep lead mining in Ballarat, transformed places like Bendigo into incredibly rich cities. In fact, Bendigo for a time in the late 19th century became the richest city on the planet. Diggers were aware of gold-bearing quartz from fairly on in the piece. In fact, the first gold found in Victoria in Clunes in 1850 came from quartz. In Bendigo, diggers could see the gold-bearing quartz in the 7 White Hills on the north of Bendigo, but they didn't have the know-how to get it out. It wasn't until the alluvial gold started to run out that miners began taking a closer look at quartz mining. Initially, they used an open cut method of mining, using picks to break into the quartz before following gold-bearing veins of quartz deeper into the ground. Now, they used the quartz roasting method, setting up kilns to roast the quartz to make it easier to crush and crack open. Now, the deep quartz mining operations brought with it major operations, including large steam-powered stampers to crush the quartz and employing lots of men to do the dangerous work of cracking into the quartz deeper and deeper underground. The Victorian Quartz Mining Company in Bendigo dug the deepest mine in the world at the time to follow those gold-bearing lines of reef. It reached a staggering depth of 1,406 metres during its lifetime, closing in the early 20th century. Bendigo has 37 lines of gold-bearing quartz reef running under the city. At the time of the quartz mining, Bendigo was covered in poppet heads, all working to exploit the gold from deep underground. The introduction of steam-powered battery stampers helped make the crushing of the quartz easier, but it was just part of the process to extract the gold. Mercury began to be used as part of the process to extract the gold. mercury was added to the crushed quartz and would bind with the gold, and when heated, as mercury has a lower boiling point, it would evaporate, leaving just the gold. Now, this process was done in kilns that were supposed to be smoke or fume-free, but it's highly unlikely that those working with this mercury would have escaped the poisonous gases. Mad Hatter's disease, which is another name for mercury poisoning, caused those afflicted with it to have everything from tremors to depression to a full-blown breakdown. This didn't slow down the growth of quartz mining in places like Bendigo, and sickness and injury were just accepted parts of working for these companies. It's all I've got time for on tonight's episode of Gold Rushes of Australia. I'll be back with more on next week's episode of The Miners' Den Show.
Well, we're just about out of time for tonight's episode of the Miners' Den Show. Thank you for tuning in on our YouTube, Facebook and TikTok live streams. Let's find out now who the lucky winners are of our 3 merch packs. So off Facebook I have Hamburger Rambo. Congratulations Hamburger, you've scored a pack. I've also got Lee Moore. Congratulations Lee, both of you guys are on Facebook there. YouTube, we've got Graham Register. Graham, congratulations on YouTube. You've scored one of our giveaway packs there as well. Look guys, let Corey know that your name was called out in the feed there. I'm sure he'll put them up as well. Get him your details and we'll get those out to you ASAP. Now, I had a couple of late questions come in there, so I'm just going to quickly go through those. Becca's asked, Shane would like to know how waterproof the Algo Force E1500 Plus or either machine is. Well, look, Shane, it's not actually waterproof. The coil is waterproof on them down to about 1 metre or 3 feet, but the control pod and the batteries and things are not waterproof on that unit. So, coil's waterproof depending on which coil you've got on, but I know the Coiltech Elite Max coils are waterproof, as is the 8x6 Sadie by Nugget Finder. Bob has asked me which is the best coil to run on the Algo. Well, look, it depends on what you're doing, Bob. If you're out on hillsides and wanting to cover a lot of ground, then a larger coil like the Elite Max 14x9 is a great coil to be using on it. If you're hunting for that smaller gold in tight to get out areas, then you can go for either the 8x6 in the Nugget Finder or the 10x5 in the Coiltech Elite Max. Any of those combinations of coils are very good. If you're only getting one coil, then you can always look towards the 9-inch round from Coiltech. Again, another latest coil from them in the Elite Max, and they will serve you as a bit of a compromise between a larger coil and a smaller coil, just depending upon your budget. So hope that helps you out there, Bob. Okay, look, we've got through just about everything, but it's been a great show, and I hope you've enjoyed being part of the Miners' Den community. Before I sign off, let's have a look at what's coming up on episode 217 of the Miners' Den Show. We'll introduce brand new products we think you're going to love. We'll get back on the horse with the Algo Force E1500 Plus in the goldfields. Jamie's back with more Gold Rushes of Australia and much, much more. I'm Gold Digger Dave. Thank you for watching the Miners' Den Show.
There's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. That signal so sweet when I hear that beep beep. Couldn't think of many things better. I heard some old tin that nearly got me in, and that piece of lead